true. The other guy there, he was part-time. So I came here as a full-time professor in Keio, and people say to me, were you happy? I said I was happy, but I didn't really know what I was in for. You know, I had taught in American universities, I had been a consultant, but I really didn't know what it was about. And people say to me, did you have culture shock? And sometimes I lie and say, oh no, everything was perfect right from the start. But I look at my colleagues, I congratulate every single one of you. You must have had more culture shock than me. Because I think I wasn't the easiest person to integrate into Keio University. Because some people said to me, Bob, be yourself. Other people said, Bob, and there's some of them who are sitting here today, we really need you in Shogakubu. Show us everything that you know. And other people said to me, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But I wasn't a Roman. You know, what could I do? So I really, really had a hard time finding my way at Keio University. You know, there I was. I was trying to figure out, you know, what's going to be my way? What am I going to do? What kind of contribution can I make here? And I really wanted to make a contribution. I didn't want to do a futsu kind of job here. I didn't want to do a regular kind of job. I wanted to do something different. So I experimented with a lot of different things. Some things went well, some things didn't go well. But eventually it turns out that I was good at teaching communication. I was good at teaching creativity. I was good at kind of going my own way. And I created an environment here where young people, and some of them are here today, could really kind of find their yarigai. They could find out what they were good at. They could find out something that they could really pursue. I created an environment, they tell me, where students really desired to learn, where students really could have some fun, where students could really kind of go their own way, where students could be challenged in ways that they couldn't dream of. And I pushed them. I didn't come here to be popular. I mean, I came from a very, very far away place. I came here to really make a difference in young people's lives. That's why I came here. And that's what I tried to do. And I'm telling you, sometimes it wasn't easy. Not because of Keio, but because of myself. You know, it's not an easy adjustment. I'm not Japanese. I was the first one. But I'm telling you, be the first one. Be the first one, because people are very, very kind to you. And you may make some mistakes, but you pave the way for some other people. And of course you have ups and you have downs. Some of the students who are here today, you know, maybe they've had ups and downs in their own college life. Maybe some professors here, we all have ups and downs in our career. But that's part of life. I like this quote by Yevtushenko. You didn't think I knew about Russian poetry, but Matthew knows. Sorrow happens, hardship happens. The hell with it. Who never knew the price of happiness will not be happy. So you got to suffer a little bit. That's part of it. Futsu is bland. Futsu is not a time where you can really learn something. Get out of your comfort zone. That's the time when you're going to learn the most. So I had some hard times. I had some times where I thought I was going to quit. I had some times where I thought people were going to push me out. I had some times where I really wasn't sure about what I was teaching, because what I was teaching was kind of different. And the way I ran my classes was very different. I mean, the students who are here today, you can ask them, but the classes were, can I say they were fun? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they were fun, and people learned something. And that's what I really tried to do in these classes. I tried to do classes that were fun and people would learn. And I developed a motto. And my motto was this: to be great and have fun. That was my motto here. And I didn't tell anyone my motto. I just kept that motto to myself. I said, I'm here for a reason. And I don't mean that in a spiritual way. I came 8,000 miles to come here. I've got to make a difference in this university. I cannot come here. Believe me, I did not come here for the money, as Professor Seike just said. I said, I've got to do something that's going to make a difference in young people's lives and in the lives of the people who I can touch here. So my motto was, be great and have fun. But I didn't always feel great, but that was still my motto. I really pushed myself, and I pushed the students to be great and have fun. And you know, when new people start a job or when new people come to Keio University, they ask me, what should I do here? And I tell them one thing. I say, be great and have fun. Work is a big part of your life, especially in Japan. So if you come here and you're not enjoying it, maybe it's time to do something else. And this is a great university because, you know why it's a great university? Because people support you here. People let you do your own path here. There's no one saying to you, you can't do this. There are some people who say you can't do this, but Nihongo wakanai, okay? All right? But you can make your own career here, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing about Keio University. Now, I didn't want to be a good professor, because good is the enemy of great. It's the enemy. It's the enemy. You know, a lot of people can be good. Very few people can be great. And I push my students to be great, and they've heard this from me. Good is the enemy of great. And when you're good at something, you don't try anymore. You don't push yourself anymore. Anyone can be good. You get lazy when you're good. Oh, yeah, I'm a good teacher. I can do it. Oh, okay, I'll stop trying. But if you want to be great at something, you never stop. You keep on working harder and harder and harder to be great at something. Now, people say, well, Bob, you're very successful. And I said, yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm still trying. I'm still trying. I'm still working hard. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to get better at what I do. You know, some people think success looks like this. I'm sorry. It looks like this. It's a mess. It's a mess. And when you're in the middle of it, you don't ever think it's going to get better. Change is always the hardest in the middle. You know, if you're running a company and you're running some change in the company, boy, it never finishes. But you think it's going to be like this. It's never like that. Love is never like this either, right? Love is never like that either. It's always like this. Hopefully, you're going in this direction. All right? You hope you're going in that kind of direction. So success really looks like this. But here's what you got to do. You got to keep at it. You got to be like a Daruma, baby. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. That was my motto. I didn't know what it said in Japanese, but I really felt sometimes like I was a Daruma moving forward. And it's not because anyone was fighting me. I was fighting myself. And I say to the students in my class, I said, get out of your own way. No one's in your way. Get out of your own way. So when it came to change, when it came to creativity, when it came to my career here, I really wanted to be successful. And successful didn't mean Bob is a great teacher. Successful meant my students would learn a lot. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about everybody else. It's not about being great for yourself. It's about trying to be great for the university. It's about trying to be great for your colleagues. It's about trying to be great for the people that you work with. And one of the things I tried to teach students is there's more than one way to do it. Everybody in my class knows that when we did a case study, there was never a right answer. There's always more than one way. There are always many different ways to do things. So we talked about going this way and that way. Don't tell anyone, but sometimes we talked about breaking the rules. Sometimes we talked about making our own rules. Sometimes we talked about Nihongo wakanai, what rules, okay? But we worked in a certain way that we got things done because the most important thing for us was for students to learn and for the students to learn. And the students worked on projects. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs, and we became a community. And sometimes I told the students when they're working on a project and they say, "Muzukashii desu ne." What did I say? Taisuke? I said difficult. What did I say? When the students said difficult, what did I say? Challenging. Don't say difficult, say challenging. And if I hear the word difficult, I want you to know difficult is good. Difficult is good. Easy is bad. Easy, you don't learn anything. It's better for things to be difficult. So I see some of the professors in this room that are very, very challenging professors, and they have a good reputation here. It's wonderful, because difficult is good. Difficult is when people learn. And sometimes you just have to do it. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. You know, you have all this kind of stuff inside of you and you wonder whether you can do it or not. Well, sometimes you just have to do it. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, now I'm 64 years old, it's time to go. But you know, 40 years old, I came here, I had no apartment, I had no money, I had no job. But I knew there was something better for me in Japan. I knew there was going to be a wonderful life for myself. So I just did it. I quit my job, my boss told me I was crazy, but things worked out okay. Now some people say, that's because you're a gaijin. No, it's not because I'm a gaijin. You know, it's a little easier for us gaijin here. Nice people, kind to me. But anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And I really, really mean that. It's harder for Japanese. I know the nail that stands out gets pounded down, but not so much anymore. And now people go their way a lot, a lot. And many of the students that I see in this room, when I look at their faces, I'm so proud of them. Not because I'm the papa, but because I planted some seeds in them that I can see taking root, and it's really a beautiful thing to see. But sometimes people say, oh yeah, it's okay, gaijin can do that, but Japanese can't do that. And I really want to say to you, everybody in this room is different. Everybody in this room has something different inside them. Everybody in this room has some yari guy that's waiting to come out. You know, you are different. And really, your difference may very well be your strengths. When I was teaching English, people would come up to me after the classes and they'd say, you know, they're all typical Japanese, but I'm different. But I'll tell you something. If there were 6 people in the class, 6 people would come up to me and say, you know, they're all typical Japanese, but I'm different. And then the next person would come up, they're all typical Japanese, but I'm different. They're all typical. You get the idea? Everybody said that they were different. They didn't want to be the typical Japanese. And even the people who said they were typical Japanese, but they never acted like the, quote, typical Japanese. So I think it's a myth. And maybe some people would disagree with me, but I think there's a kind of a myth that people don't really notice the difference they are because it's easier to fit in. But people don't fit in all the time, and sometimes those are the ones who are the most successful. I was very, very fortunate here to be able to run a speakers program, a guest speakers program, where we brought people in from all over Japan. And we brought in people like this, Hiroshi Mikitani. Hiroshi Mikitani, I had lunch with him many times, I had dinner with him many times. He asked me to invest in his company. I said, I didn't think he was going to be a success, okay? That's the trouble with being a business professor and not a businessman. You don't have a good sense of what's going to be. But Hiroshi Mikitani was one of the first speakers that we brought into this class, and he talked about going to Harvard Business School, and he talked about what was possible for people. And now Rakuten is a huge success. But we also brought in the president of Chanel, we brought in the presidents of some other companies, we brought in the president of Second Harvest, which was running a food bank in Japan. And we really tried to inspire people by bringing in all these guest speakers. And we really encouraged those speakers to really open up about their own lives and open their heart to people. So people break away all the time. I love this guy. I'm not in love with the vacuum cleaner, but I'm in love with the design of the vacuum cleaner. Here was a vacuum cleaner for men. Here was a vacuum cleaner that has style. Here was a vacuum cleaner that has no bags. Hey, wait a minute. A vacuum cleaner by Dyson has no bags. A vacuum cleaner by Dyson is a beautiful design. This is all so, so different. And Dyson broke away from the pack and became a very big success. Now, if you go to Big Camera and take a look at all the vacuum cleaners, they look like this. They look like this. And I'm telling you, better to be first. When you're first, people say, a little crazy, you're kind of nuts. But then they all copy you. Sometimes they're jealous. And sometimes, one of my colleagues said this to me, it was such a nice thing. She said to me, Bob, you're a pioneer. I go, wow, that's better than crazy.